Hello, everyone. Festive Long John's your host here, bringing you the very first cast of the new patch, for our channel at least. July 21st is here, the long-awaited redesign of the factions. It's crazy, they really shook things up. I'm sure anybody watching this has probably already read the patch notes thoroughly and played a fair number of games in the new patch. But just to quickly glaze over some of the changes for those of you who maybe don't know what happened, the Soviets got a pretty big overhaul to their design. The T-34-76 is now in Tier 4. They swapped it with the Su-76, which is now in Tier 3. Gaining access to Tier 4 requires teching to Tier 3. Austere got a little bit cheaper to tech in terms of manpower, and they tied the fuel costs, the heavier fuel costs, to the battle phases rather than the buildings. The Americans got a pretty significant buff to the pack howitzer. Is now 380 manpower. The captain is 20 fuel cheaper than it was, so that Stewart comes out quite a bit earlier, making the captain tech just a little bit more intriguing. It's a nice option. But enough of that. If you want to read the full changes, the patch notes are available. Let's get into the game we have at hand. We've got Sturm Tiger Giap, who we haven't seen play in a very long time. This new patch has brought a lot of excellent players out of the woodwork, and yeah, I'm really excited about what this is going to do for the game. It's really shaking the meta up. It's really it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch something other than just stalling for Collins. Basically, they killed Collins too. They pushed him back 2 CPs. That's pretty huge. As far as build orders go, Americans are still going 3 rifles. Austere can go kind of whatever they want. Just about everything they have is effective. Theodosis choosing to go with a sniper. And by the way, I didn't introduce Theodosis. He is a strategist on Code2.org, a very good player. I know he's top 100. We'll see what he ends up doing. This Puma commander is being used a lot by a lot of top players because of the prevalence of early light vehicles. Comes at 5 CPs. It's a really nice crutch. Map control so far heavily in Giap's favor. The sniper is not being used to cap, and that's a really significant manpower investment initially, so Giap easily out-capping his opponent. No commander choice for either one, but we can go over that real quick. We got rifle, airborne, and infantry. Those need no introduction. And here for Theodosis, we've got Festung Armor, which is interesting. And then the Puma Commander, Mobile Defense, and the Elite Troops Doctrine. So all those very strong commanders. Sniper plinking away at this rifle squad that's a bit overextended, to be honest with you, and there aren't really any rifles to support. Theodosis has a bit of a hard point here at his cutoff, and the Pioneers actually capped the munis in the north. So map control about even now. And at this point, Theodosis needs to start being concerned with light vehicles. Yep, Giap's got his lieutenant rolling out, which means the M20 will be following soon after, unless he opts to stall for a AA half-track, which, without any MGs on the field, might be a good idea to go for that AA half-track. I think the M20 is good, but I typically only like rushing the M20 when I'm dealing with just tons of MGs, and there's no MGs on the field yet, so Giap doing a nice little bit of baiting there, hopping out of the house, and actually ends up dropping a model off that Grenadier squad for free, and tries to get in again. He's being a cheeky little bastard, but they're starting to drain models now, and he needs to run!
A capture point is under attack.
He might lose that rifle. He was being awfully cheeky with it, and it might cost him. Under a hail of bullets, he's going to get away just in the nick of time. Theodosis now sees the lieutenant and knows that he needs to be prepared for an early vehicle. He has Battle Phase 1 teched and is now putting up Tier 2. So the M20 is going to have a good minute or so on the field before the Tier 2 is completed and he can get a pack out. And Theodosis has regained control of the middle of the map, but Giap is decapping the fuel on the right side. So Theodosis is either going to have to play for the fuel on the left here, which actually now has a fighting position upgraded. Very interesting. I like that a lot, actually. The north side is pretty tricky to play on this map, as has been talked about, because the fuel for the north is just so much further away from the base than the fuel for the south. So rather than play for that western fuel, Theodosis is going to reposition. Try and pop off some shots at the sniper at a really close range. He needs to be careful. He hasn't exposed himself yet. He backs off a little bit before he decides to take a shot, but he hears the M20. He sees the M20 and a massive approach coming in here. We got a rifle and a lieutenant pushing in, and this Grenadier squad's going to be in trouble. The sniper's being blocked nicely by this hedge, so he's going to be able to freely pop shots. And we've got a scout car on the way, another big change from this patch. The scout car now comes automatically equipped. It's a 222. It's a pretty nice little quality of life buff for the Austria there. Theodosis is in a bit of trouble though, because Giap now has both fuels, and the M20 is going to be free to roam at least until the scout car hits. And the scout car is going to crush the wire. He's going to go balls deep on this M20. Giap spots it, wisely backs off. And Theodosis is making a play for his own fuel. The sniper taking shots at these riflemen in the building. The M20 is repairing in the base. Let's see if we see some cheeky Bazooka Crew M20 play. I like to see that against the scout car. It's always fun. Sexy skin there from Theodosis. A nice sniper play. He's positioned that sniper really well. Yep, and he's decided to pop the crew out of the M20 and use it to deter that vehicle. Oh, and a nice wipe from those grenadiers on that rifleman. So, that's a pretty key wipe, and he's actually kind of deterred the big lieutenant power spike here with that scout car. So I kind of think an A half track would have been maybe a little bit better. It does delay your Sherman quite a bit though. It's 40 fuel more expensive. We got a teller mine down there from Theodosis. That's a really nice spot for a teller. M20 is going to see if he can make his way back into the battle. And just about all of Giap's army pushing up here. He needs to be careful. He's not going to be able to stand up to that much infantry. At this point, I don't know. I might consider getting an MG. Now that he's survived the lieutenant rush, an MG might not be a bad idea. He's using this Grenadier squad here just to stall basically Giap's entire army. In the meantime, he's got his Pioneers decapping the munis on the right. The sniper and the scout car need to back up. And he's going to hop the vehicle crew in the building and try and sneak that scout car. Pack positioned nicely. He doesn't see it yet. M20's going to roll up, take a shot from this pack. And he's not. He's back to pack up. That could have been a nice ambush there, but M20 is going to push up and try and... Oh, there it is. Nice play by Theodosis. Picks up the M20. Giap is now down to 2 rifles and a lieutenant. And that's... he decides to go to airborne. He's going to supplement his losses with elite infantry instead. Immediately calls in an airborne squad to recoup the lost riflemen. And Theodosis is likely going to start rolling some LMGs out on his grenadiers now. He's got 60 munis, so we'll see. He's even in the CP, so there's no rush here. And the sniper is still doing good work, despite the fact that this map is a little tricky to use for snipers. There's some tough line of sight. Though he's using that to his advantage quite well, ducking behind the hedge here while bringing up a Grenadier squad to support. Those LMGs, or this that Browning is going to do good damage at close range, but he opts to retreat it. And the Grenadier is free to recap his cutoff, which is actually not cutting him off from anything because he's opted to play for the right side, which is good. This cutoff's pretty punishing, to be honest. It's a lot easier to play for this cutoff than it is for this one. So, on the south side, I think the right is a little bit easier to hold than the middle and left. Just depends on how you want to play it. Giap has spent some of his manpower. What is he doing? Is he going... Okay, he's decided to go for Major, which also has been changed. The Major is now 120 fuel, up from 90, so that's pretty expensive. That's a pretty huge nerf to the US Tier 4 timing. They also tied the Easy 8 into the Major. A lot of changes this patch. More than I can go over in one cast, probably. But, that's what patch notes are for, right? Sniper's up to 18 kills in 10 minutes. He's getting some good mileage out of that one. And he's slowly starting to push Giap back. I don't think he could have the infantry advantage if he decided to spend his munitions on LMGs, but at this point he's playing it safe and has laid down at least one teller. I'm not sure where the rest of his munitions were. And now this rifleman has Vet 1, so the scout car's going to have to be careful. And Giap has LMGs on these paratroopers, which are just monstrous. Scout car is getting flanked now by quite a bit of infantry. Should be fine unless a bazooka shot lands. These pioneers need to get the fuck out. And Theodosis is responding by repositioning some of his grenadier squads. Bazooka crew's still pushing up. Scout car has stopped and needs to be careful. Sniper is forced to retreat over red cover. He's fine. This grenadier squad's gonna need to go. Bazooka squad in pursuit of that scout car. And Giap is going to force Theodosis' fuel and cutoff here. Pack just a little bit out of position. And looks like Theodosis was about to build tier 3 but canceled it for some reason. Maybe so that he could repair his scout car. That's probably it. Now we got a mid-game MG, so that's interesting. And these paratroopers are now repositioning to the middle. And we got the Major up. How close are we to a Sherman? It's still a ways off a Sherman. He's going to go for the Scott instead. Okay, M8 against Austere Tier 3. I don't know about that. He'll get good use out of it. Giap's a good player. He's not going to lose it randomly. But Stoke will counter it pretty hard. P4 will hard counter it. But then again, that pack howitzer, I'll put the bleed on Austere pretty hard. So tough decision, tough decision. Giap certainly has the lead in fuel. He's already got his Major out and is already producing his first vehicle from that. And Theodosis hasn't even actually finished his tier 3 building yet. So Giap's going to have a lot of time to make use of that pack howitzer. Theodosis is just kind of holding on. He's treading water. He's triple cap now, so he's got to get at least one VP back, or he's going to start hurting. Got the first LMG coming out on this Grenadier squad. Scout car is going to reposition, but he can't get too close. That Rifleman's Vet 1. I don't think these Grenadiers can hold, even though they are Vet 2 now. Actually, they're putting quite a bit of damage down, and the Sniper has moved up as well. So nicely played by Theodosis, recognizing that he has to recap that VP. He can't afford to stay triple cap for too long, and you can see how much of an impact that LMG had. I mean, that LMG, especially on a Vet 2 squad, because they gain increased accuracy to Vet 2. Once you get Vet 2 and LMG, it's basically an elite infantry squad. And we got another teller mine from Theodosis here, so two really nice defensively placed teller mines. That's one nice thing about the pack howitzers. You don't have to be super aggressive with it in order for it to be effective, especially on a map like this where you have all these hedges you can shoot over, crazy line of sight blockers. The pack howitzer could be a real nuisance, and the first shot going in from that pack howitzer doesn't quite manage to hit the squad, but they're gonna. I wouldn't keep that Grenadier squad around too much longer, man. It's just bound to land one of those shots eventually. And this pack is positioned pretty well, I'd say, pretty well. The scout car might actually try and spot for it, which could be interesting. You know he's gonna spot for the Sniper, but Bazooka crew hanging out here, waiting for an ambush right behind the hedge. Both players just kind of waiting it out. Theodosis not in a bad spot. Not in a great spot, but not in a bad one. He can still pull this out. Be interesting to see if he decides to go with a Pack 43. On this map, it can be pretty brutal. Place it right around here, here, and you can control so much of the middle. You can just deny so much armor. And this pack howitzer is going to try and pick up the Sniper. The sniper's out of the area now, so he should be fine. And the most valuable grenadier moving up to the north here. He's got one grenadier to the south who's going to get pushed off pretty quickly by the lieutenant and the other rifle squad. And the vehicle crew is going to try and contest this grenadier, but they're just going to lose horribly. Vehicle crews don't really have any real combat potential. There you go. Nice shot from that pack. It's going to have to back off. Now that frees the scout car to move up. Oh, please don't lose that squad. You really desperately need that squad. Oh, it's a bit of an overextension from Theodosis. And oh, it's a huge loss. That is a huge loss. That was his only Vet 2 Grenadier, and the only one upgraded with an LMG. Nicely microed sniper here, but he's going to have to get out as well. He's going to try and be sneaky. We'll see what he can do. The sniper, oh, nice stun shot used to buy some time. That rifleman's down to 2 men. He's actually going to have to retreat. I was going to say he could have potentially wiped that squad. And now we've got a mortar, so some mid-game support weapons coming out from Theodosis after he has his baseline infantry stabilized. And he's doing a nice job with these pioneers harassing these munitions up in the north earlier. Harassing the mid-VP now and decapping or he's harassing the west VP and decapping the mid-VP. You can see the strength of the MG42, and Giap has actually tech grenades, so that'll be nice. It'll be good to deal with that MG42. Oh, that was unlucky. The pack howitzer just detonated his teller. Ugh, I hate that. It's just unfortunate. The pack's gonna have to reposition. This rifle squad is charging. LMG or MG42 setting up. Grenade's gonna go off. Snipers in red cover, taking shots from the pack howitzer. MG42 is down to 1 man and he's gonna try and retreat. Oh, it gets wiped again. That pack howitzer is just a nuisance. And we've got a MG or a AT gun from Giap out now. The pack howitzer is being nicely used behind this infantry push that is going in. And Theodosis is going to get completely pushed off. Except for, I kind of missed that. That was my bad. The Panzer IV is on the field. He really doesn't want an MG42 in the hands of the American player. I think Theodosis needs to defend that at all costs. In the meantime, he is decapping the munis in the north and has VP control. Giap's going to get the middle one, and he's rapidly approaching another vehicle. All he needs is the manpower. We'll probably see either a Sherman or a Jackson to deal with this Tier 4 or Tier 3 from Theodosis. And I don't know what Theodosis is going to do here with his munitions. I'd be interested to see if he gets more LMGs. The sniper is doing a great job of bleeding. 31 kills in 18 minutes. We got a recrew of the MG42. I don't know, I would have recrewed that with the Pioneers. You get the vision bonus from the Pioneers along with the MG, so you basically get a self-spotting MG, which is pretty huge. Giap decapping the left while Theodosis takes the middle. They're just going to trade VPs here. Theodosis is going to maintain VP control if he can get the cap. Pack howitzer is going to move up, and this is a deadly range for the pack howitzer. He is awfully close to that squad. Gotta be careful here. Oh, except that he's deciding to shoot that super high vertical arc instead. Pack is moving up. One more shot on the pack howitzer. It's going to go down, and now that pack has the all-important Vet 1, which is huge because it gives you access to target weak point, which is incredibly powerful. Just really, really strong. P4 roaming to the north to maintain control of that territory while the MG cuts off his approach through the pass here. Nicely played by Theodosis. Does maintain VP control, and here we see the mortar already Vet 1 with 4 kills, denying that garrison to Giap. Giap's going to shoot smoke through the windows. That was a nice shot by those rifles. Shot it through 2 windows in the 2nd story. So he's going to cap under the cover of smoke. He's going to deny that sniper any chance to pick them off, but he does have the mortar there. He could manually barrage that. In the meantime, the Panzer IV is rolling up. Theodosis has more infantry in his base being reinforced. Giap now is opting to build a Jackson to counter that P4, and that's an excellent choice. Jackson's always going to pen a P4. They did lower the damage on it a couple patches ago, so they don't quite just shit on P4s anymore. I believe they used to 3-shot P4, and now it takes 4 shots to kill a P4, which is pretty significant. These airborne are really strong. It's stronger than any other infantry unit in the game right now, or in this current game, not in the game, obviously. A case could be made for Obers. But LMG paras are just about as strong as it gets in terms of infantry. And the P4 is getting aggressive just as the Jackson hits the field. There's the Jackson. There it is. And, oh no, attack ground on that Pack Howie might kill it. Unlucky shot against the wall. The Jackson's going to roll up. Puts the damage down. About 1/4 health knocked off from that one shot. Pack is moving up. And the Grenadiers are spotting. Actually, excellent position for those Grens. Let's see what he decides to do with this pack. Is he going to play it in the mid? Yep, nicely dodged there. Grenadiers moving up to support. The pack's a bit overextended. These LMG paras are going to pose a pretty significant threat. I don't know how much longer they can stick around. These rifles are taking a ton of damage from the LMG in the church. The sniper is there to support the pack. Meanwhile, Giap moves his own AT gun up. And he's going to try and flank with the P4. He recognizes that the Jackson is idling over there. In the meantime, he's repositioning his pack. Nice positioning here by Theodosis. He could pincer this. He could pincer this Jackson. I don't know if he has vision on it. He does have vision on it from the house. Let's see if he targets weak point. Target weak point. You could have picked that. Okay, he could have maybe picked that up. Had he targeted weak point, shot the Jackson, and then moved up with the P4, he could have easily picked up that Jackson. Cannot forget that ability. It is so strong. It is so strong. It's like a 3-second snare. It's almost enough to get a second shot off before it can even move. You can basically just burst down a vehicle with that. It's insane. So I got 2 LMGs, non-LMG Grenadiers. That's going to help a lot to deal with all of these Axis or Allied infantry everywhere. P4 doing a nice job denying harassment on the flanks, but it looks like Giap has managed to decap Theodosis' fuel. Still no commander choice for Theodosis. Meanwhile, Giap has stockpiled 500 munitions, which means he's got enough for at least 2 P-47 strikes, which is going to be nasty if used in conjunction with that Jackson. So, really close game so far. VPs are still just about even. This is getting hairy. We got a second pack coming in from Theodosis. I don't know. I don't know what you do in this situation. You don't have any heavies really, besides the Tiger Ace, and that comes at 17 CPs now. Dear God. 17 CPs. Just, that's just insane. Both players playing relatively conservative. We're not seeing too many aggressive pushes from either side. This MG really hasn't moved in a long time, and he's really kind of having a tough time getting it out of there. The pack howitzer not the pack howitzer. Howitzer maybe carriage, the M8. It's going to reposition to the north. These Grenadiers are in the house. This house is absolute garbage. It's actually got 3 windows on this side, which isn't bad. And considering that they have the LMG, which is like 75% of the squad's damage, it's actually not a bad garrison for LMG units, especially when supported with a sniper. Giap's repositioning his armor to the north. The scout car is still alive. Nice play there from Theodosis with that scout car. Only 5 kills, but has managed to harass quite a bit. And this MG42 is being flanked. Jackson might smell blood here with this P4, but Theodosis recognizes that, positions his pack nicely. MG42 probably going to go down. And this vehicle crew is still shooting at the scout car. Is taking mortar fire as well. He might lose it if he's not careful. Jackson moving up around the corner here is going to pick up the scout car easily. The long-lived scout car is finally dead. In the meantime, Giap has again cut off the fuel. And Theodosis has his support weapons over on the left flank, just kind of contesting that fuel, but not really, and now he's opting to reposition him, so Theodosis should be able to regain the right side pretty easily. He's now got 200 fuel. He really needs to think about what he's going to do with his fuel next. If he chooses to go tier 4, he could potentially get a Panther, but that's going to be really expensive. I think he'd be better off getting a couple Stoogs to deal with the Jackson. A Stoog with target weak point is deadly against the Jackson. There you go. Pack takes a nice shot against that Jackson. And we've got Rifleman decapping the middle VP. Pair is rolling up on that pack, but the P4 is there to support, and this mortar is just doing a fantastic job supporting. This is I really like the use of the mid-game support weapons. That was cool. Both players now floating quite a bit of fuel. Neither one of them is particularly close to pop cap. Giap can really, I mean, he can afford just about anything he wants right now. He has more than enough infantry presence, so I think some more AT would be in order. I would probably another pack howitzer, honestly, or another M8 howitzer. Nice dodge there by Giap. Excellent micro as usual. Pack taking a bit of an aggressive position up here on the road. Jackson is getting repairs, and now Theodosis has managed to regain control of both fuels. So both players just kind of trading map control back and forth. Neither one can really seem to get a steady line of territory here, and we've got a Sherman, so finally one of the players is spending their fuel. Good choice by Giap. Good all-around tank. HE shells just tear up infantry. Can go, you know, can hold its own against a P4 when it's on armor-piercing rounds. And S-Mines, beautiful spot for S-Mines. Giap's been harassing that fuel from that lane all game long. And holy shit, huge push over here. He's going to try and wipe these double vet grenadiers that were overextended on the flank. They're easily going to get it. And a nice grenade in the retreat path, and they drop the LMG. Oh, that's huge. Really sneaky play. Really sneaky play from Giap there. Very nicely done. Picks up another Vet 2 LMG squad and gets the MG out of it. That's pretty massive. And just now, only just now, is Theodosis spending his fuel, so he's going to have another P4 on the field very shortly. So we're going to have 2 P4s and 2 packs against a Jackson, a Sherman, and an M8 Scott. The P4 is getting vastly outranged. Oh no, the riflemen, or the paratroopers, almost at a rifle nade there. He's going to move the pack up to force off the Jackson. In the meantime, this AT gun is going to catch this P4 a bit overexposed. Now we got a Vet 2 pack, that's pretty big. The rate of fire gets pretty nasty. Pack, please, stun him! Oh man, probably no munitions. Yeah, it's a 30 munition ability, he's almost out. 2 P4s now. I just love that skin. That Panzergraus skin is so good looking. It's so nasty. Meanwhile, the pack on this side is shutting down this left flank for that Jackson to try and potentially maneuver around the to catch those P4s. And the mortar caught by the rifleman, and the grenade, oh, wipes the mortar. The sniper is there to support, and it might actually cost this rifle squad if they get unlucky. Now things are really starting to heat up. The pack has caught the Jackson. Target weak point. Oh, he could have killed that Jackson again with target weak point. These grenadiers are a bit overexposed, and the sniper's in red cover. Look out, sniper. Oh, this is getting hairy. P4's moving up, still being careful with their line of sight. They recognize the Jackson's got massive range bonus, but the Jackson needs to pull back for repairs. Woo! Still neck and neck, 301 to 294. This is getting hairy. And the P4 starting to get a little more aggressive as well. Smoke going down on that cutoff, but it's not going to be in time. Lieutenant is already pinned. Keep in mind that Lieutenant squad has an LMG now, which is just filthy. Dirty, dirty boy. Goes by him enough time to get up, only to get suppressed again. That's a bit unfortunate there.
Enemy is taking our territory.
Both sides repositioning, rearming their forces. We got P-47s out the wazoo coming, guys. I'm telling you. You just gotta wait for it. And this sniper's been a pain in God and Giap's ass. Oh no, rifleman.
We are losing a
Whew,
sector.
might go down. Oh man, this sniper's up to 49 kills. 49 kills. Now we're starting to see the line stagnate a little bit. The more armor hits the field, the more likely it is that those harassing squads get chased down on retreat. It becomes riskier and riskier to harass on the flanks with high-value targets. They're just kind of asking for it. These paratroopers doing a nice job. Just kind of poking. Do a little bit of poke. And I just heard S-mines. Did they just wipe a squad? Or did he retreat? I don't know. I didn't catch it. I only see one dead model. It wasn't his bazooka crew. I guess we'll never know. Giap got a pretty big force moving in over here. Theodosis is in a pretty good spot though. These packs are doing a nice job covering both approaches. He's really got Giap pinned back here, and the sniper just continues to bleed. Very nice smoke there on the pack. That is one thing that is a bit of a weakness in the stationary AT guns. Oh, I missed it. The Jackson was repositioned over on the left flank. Takes a shot in on the P4. He thinks he might be able to pull it. The pack is a bit out of position. He might lose this rifle squad. There you go. Pack turns. Rifle squad gets away. Ooh, second shot in from that pack. Yes. It successfully forced those vehicles back. And now Theodosis knows that just about all of Giap's armor is really, really low. And he's using that P4 on the other flank to force off Giap's harassing infantry. Sniper still just on auto fire, man. He's just firing at will. There's no stopping him. Really, really nice sniper play from Theodosis here in this game. Just awesome. And he's going to actually use the sniper to cap the mid VP. Nope, he's not. He's just out of the circle. Theodosis making his way to the left-hand side. Jackson being repaired. Second Jackson on the way. We're going to have two Jacksons, a Sherman, and a Scott. That's going to be kind of tricky for Theodosis. And Theodosis is now pop-capped. That second Pioneer squad that he's needed to keep his P4s repaired is what basically put him at pop-cap. So Giap, unfortunately, is going to be able to use the ability for the vehicle crews to decrew and go over pop-cap. So if this game goes long, Giap could actually potentially overwhelm Theodosis with armor if he keeps all of his alive. It's a tall task. But this pack is getting real. Oh no, that's a huge loss. If he can steal that pack, that would be exactly what he needs. If nothing else, just deny it. Bring the Jacksons up and just outright destroy it. Nice play by the Jackson there to poke up and get a shot on the P4. Grenade going down on that rifle squad, or the Gren squad. Oh no, the sniper. The hero sniper. Oh wow, I totally missed it. This P4 pushed up on the AT gun. It's being blocked by the Jackson, but the other Jackson misses. Oh wow. And that Jackson goes down, but we've got the airborne. The airborne have come in to reinforce. Jackson picks up the P4. Pack's gonna have to back off. This other Panzer IV is gonna have to back off. P-47's got their radius nerfed by about 30%, so they're not quite as devastating. You can see the radius now extends to about there. So a little bit more reasonable, whereas previously it kind of kicked all the way out here. It was just insane. Good news for Theodosis is he's going to be able to recruit this pack. He's going to be able to recruit with the Pioneers, which is excellent. That means they're going to have a vision bonus. And the plane crash. That was potentially devastating. Theodosis lost one of his Pioneers, and he's down to 72 pop cap. He still has really good map control, but another nice flank here by Giap is going to force this pack to reposition. And we've got Lieutenant. We got a two-way flank coming in here. The P4 is there to support, but this is a really nice flank. Decrews the second pack, but they're those rifles. And oh wow, Theodosis was doing a great job focusing down that rifle squad, but the pack howitzer does what it does best. 5 squads. Nasty. That sucks. Theodosis is now down to just 2 Grenadier squads. It's going to get harder and harder for him to maintain map control against all of these infantry. And the pack howitzer is now starting to really get some shots. 17 kills, up from just 10 a few minutes ago. And we've got a replaced P4, brand spanking new, off the assembly line. Good stuff. I think a Stug would be a better choice, to be honest with you. A little bit cheaper, actually extremely effective at trading with Jacksons because they're just 80 fuel is just so nice. And these S-mines still tormenting Giap. Oh, nasty. Wipes the majority of that squad and forces a retreat. So really nicely played there by Theodosis. Certainly not out of the game. Both players now at 32 CPs. And still no doctrine choice from Theodosis. I think, honestly, the Pack 43 would be pretty huge. It is pretty hefty in terms of pop cap, but oh yeah, baby. Vet 2 pack, that rate of fire. Giap is sleeping, and it goes down. Spotted by the sniper, which was in camo. So Giap loses that Sherman before he even knew what hit him. Nice play there by Theodosis. Very nice play by Theodosis. So still anybody's game. God, this is a close one. Whew. I'm feeling this one's going to come down to the wire, guys. LMG Grins just shredding those. We've got Lieutenant trying to cross the road. And we've got another Grenadier with LMGs. He's replaced his lost one. And these, oh man, that pack howitzer. That Howie. Run! No! Oh, please reposition. Oh, he's baiting him. He was I really think Theodosis could benefit from that. That target weak point. That ability is just so strong. Got one P4 position here on the right side, the other on the left. Theodosis going for the triple cap now, and he'll probably get it for a while. Giap has all of his infantry on the right side, with only the pack howitzer and Jackson to support. I say only the pack howitzer and Jackson to support, but he's going to get a triple cap for a good couple ticks here, especially if he can stall with this P4. He needs to reposition the pack because Giap's going to take this right side otherwise. Giap's decapping the right VP using smoke really, really nicely here. If we go to the fog of war, Theodosis has no idea that Jackson's there. He knows that. Oh! Shit, that was an unlucky infantry squad. That engagement there, it's cost the rear echelon its life. Nice play by Giap. Oh, but the Jackson hits the Teller. The Teller was there all game long, and it finally comes up big, but the P4 is a damaged engine, and it can't follow it up. We're going to get a... Oh, he's going to send his other P4 in the flank. Repair critical tries to get the Jackson out of there, but oh, nicely played there by Theodosis. Huge. That's a huge pickup. And Giap calls in the P47s to try and see what he can do against these P4. The thing about P47s is, honestly, they have a tougher time hitting the smaller target size of these P4s. They absolutely shred Tigers and other vehicles that have larger target size, but against the medium vehicles, they tend to miss quite a bit. You saw there, it wasn't exactly devastating call-in, despite the fact that both those P4s had a damaged engine. And now Giap he's starting to lose some squads. He lost his Minesweeper. He's maybe going to lose another capping squad here. For all intents and purposes, that's all it was good for. Gets a little lucky there. He does still have his M8 Scott. Now Theodosis is going for the throat. He's going for another triple cap while he's decapping the fuel on the left side. Giap still has tons of fuel. He's still floating just a massive amount of fuel. And the sprinting lieutenant going to flank this MG and the pack with no sniper support around. This is going to be we'll see if he can pull this off, or what exactly he's always going for the retreat path on the lieutenant. And this is the LMG lieutenant. So this is going to do a bunch of damage in a hurry. Theodosis spots it almost immediately. Giap's been doing a really nice job this game of positioning for squad wipes. He's getting in the retreat path with a lot of high DPS units and trying to wipe it. And now he's in a tough spot. He's in a really tricky spot because he's been triple capped for a little while now, and Theodosis has claimed a 100 VP lead, and he's triple capped again. So Giap really needs to do something about the VP situation, or this game's going to get really unforgiving in a hurry. The other P4, the Vet 2 P4 is now completely repaired.
Sector has been
He's going
cut
to move
off.
on to the other P4. Giap's just waiting on manpower to get his infantry. Ooh, nice shot.
The enemy
Heck,
has destroyed an anti-tank gun.
that thing is just doing work on his infantry. Up to 22 kills. Really nice play by that howitzer, using it behind the hedges, using it from a safe distance. This LMG Grenadier squad is maybe going for a Faust on the pack howie, but oh no. AT gun in position with high velocity rounds. Oh, he misses the first shot. And because he didn't take any damage, that rear armor AT grenade does not actually damage the engine. The armored skirts also help, but even if he didn't have armored skirts, he wouldn't have taken the engine damage there. Theodosis now has pretty solid map control, and he has the MG set up in the middle VP. Giap doing a nice job using smoke to try and negate that MG with a beautiful flank from these paratroopers. They're going to try and throw a grenade on the MG to clear it. It only wipes 2 models, but they do clear the pack. P4 is still uncontested. The second Jackson is on the way. He's going to get the decap, so this is going to stop the bleed for Giap. That's pretty huge. His 2 P4s are just wailing on his infantry now, and the Jackson still has yet to hit the field. Sniper, stun round. Oh, wipes 3 out of the 5 models, and then he just lost his... Oh no, he just lost that lieutenant. The game seems to be unraveling for Giap here. Theodosis is picking up a couple squads. He actually gets the Browning, so they just traded LMGs. And while Giap has managed to recruit both of these packs, he doesn't really have anything that he can use to punish them while they're recruited. Meanwhile, Theodosis still has both of his P4s, so the game is slowly but surely slipping away from Giap here. He has managed to stop the bleed, and that M8 Scott is still just firing away. But that being said, Theodosis does still have both of his P4s, especially the Bet 2-1. That's pretty huge. That's kind of funny. 7 kills on that one. He's got Bet 2, 9 on that one. Of course, he probably has the vehicle kills. Let's see here. Yeah, he must have been the one that picked up the Jackson. There's no way otherwise. So Giap calling in a second Jackson. Like we said earlier, he's got plenty of fuel in reserve to recoup his losses, and he's going to try and flank around the right rather than contest this hard point here with the sniper and the MG and the packs. It's a good play by Giap. Forces support weapons to either reposition or just be, basically sit idle. This is still, I think, anybody's game, but I think Giap's walking the tightrope here. Oh, this next incoming engagement is going to be pretty decisive, I feel. Both players positioning themselves for final engagement. When the game starts ticking down like this, the final engagement can be the one that decides it. Theodosis is moving his P4s up. Jackson, already spotted by the pack, takes 1 shot. And now the pack howitzer is out of position. So is this other allied AT gun. Infantry support here. Gonna force off some infantry, and now Giap has managed to maintain or grab that right BP, but he might lose this all-important LMG paratrooper squad, his most valuable infantry squad. P4 is forced to back off from that AT gun, and now the sniper's in trouble. Pack's in trouble. It's gonna have to reposition. P4s are still, they don't have a damage engine. They don't have to be too afraid. They are going to take a shot from those Jacksons, though. The Jacksons are sitting right in the cone of that fire from the pack. Second shot goes in and actually wipes one of the Jacksons. That's huge. Really nicely played by Theodosis, using those stun rounds on the sniper rifle to keep his pack from being wiped just in the nick of time. That sniper's got to be the MVP, man. 75 kills. Beautiful micro with that. That has just been an amazing game. And actually, now Theodosis has had enough time to tech all the way to Tier 4. So he went Tier 3 and Tier 4. It's pretty expensive, but this is a 44-minute long game. And he's had pretty steady fuel control so far. So the Panther is going to be exactly what he needs to deal with the Jackson. And I'd say Theodosis has this game pretty much under control. He's got Giap triple capped again. Giap's got maybe one more good push in him before this game is over. And Theodosis with a hell of a performance with this sniper. has used that stun shot ability so many times, these incendiary rounds, to just completely shut down these flanks by Giap. And man, if I'm Giap right now, I'm just so irritated with that sniper. That little bastard has just been a thorn in his side all game long. Jackson is recognizing, or Giap's recognizing, that the game is starting to get a little bit hairy. He's maybe overextending a little bit with the Jackson. The Panther is now on the field, going to easily be able to hunt down this Jackson. And this is likely going to result in a GG well played. I don't think this Jackson's going to make it out alive. But, oh, he just lost his pack howitzer to that pack. They're playing a little cat and mouse game here, but really just kind of delaying the inevitable. Sniper's going to move up and try and clear this AT gun. Panther roaming in for the kill, or Panzer IV roaming in for the kill. He blitzkriegs into battle. He's got to get the Jackson with one more shot. AT gun doing a nice amount of work on that Panther. Whoever gets this next, oh wow, Jackson deflects, the Panther deflects the Jackson shot from point blank range, and that is it. There's no way. The P4 is free to clean up the rest of Giap's infantry in the base. The sniper, where's the sniper? Sniper could, oh, there you go. The AT gun is down. Panzer IVs are cleaning up the rest. Giap is still valiantly trying to come back. They're probably exchanging words here. He's not even bothering to micro his infantry out of the way, and there it is. Game over. Playback over. Beautifully played there by Theodosis. That was some really, really nice play. I really enjoyed that game. So there you go. No Tiger. Not even a commander choice from Theodosis. Just going vanilla austere all the way. 46 minutes. Wonderfully played by Theodosis. Props all around. Giap getting back into the game. Love to see a lot of top players returning to the auto match. It's been a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And really looking forward to casting more matches with the new patch. Man, it's like every live game we cast is good. I'm surprised people don't upload more of these games. I love casting live games. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.